Folks, how's everybody doing today? My name is Rudy. Folks! You thought I was going to forget. How's everybody doing today? My name is Rudy. You're watching Alpha Investments. Today on the Alpha Investments YouTube channel, we discuss collectible markets and things that go up and down and swirly birds and go to zero and bamboozle and pump and dump and all the other memes of the internet. I don't know why we're filming at the Lego area. Weather's kind of bad out there. It's kind of cooling off and relaxing and just kind of walking around, eating some waffle fries and enjoying the view of the Legos. Let's see how smart you guys are. Which Lego set in the back is actually old school vintage, factory sealed, and worth thousands? See how good you guys are. Let's see if you can figure it out. All right, so a lot of chatter on the new Magic the Gathering stuff and new Pokemon. That's what this video is going to be about. All right, so we got the all-new Pokemon booster box. Craziness of stellar booster boxes coming up here. TCG players around 105, 110 plus tax, including shipping. What was that, 112 to 120 shipped maybe? Let's just call it 110 shipped. Sales are really picking up online. The volume selling each day is pretty high. Definitely doing better than the previous releases. Already doing better than Twilight Masquerade at the same time. I don't know why everybody thought Eyes Wide Shut would be a terrible set, and yet here we are. There's been interesting conversation about dead cat bounce. Not really a bull market. Rudy's the only one acting like Magic and Pokemon are doing good. The economy's coming to an end. We are on the brink of the great crash. Which is funny, because I actually filmed this video on Tuesday, which I'm actually going to publish the video the same time I film this. And of course the stock market's down 500 points. Whoa! I know. What is that? 1% off the stock market? Dow at 40,000 lost 500 points. That's like 1.1% decline. How will we ever recover? This year has been so good to collectors, investors, Wall Street people. I feel like it's been very challenging for normal, hardworking people just trying to make a living and get a paycheck. But when it comes to Wall Street and assets and actual prices across the board, things have been very favorable for the collector and the investor in 2024. A lot of people feel that this is not sustainable and we're about to go off the big crash and the drop off the side and whatever thing you want to say. And I don't really see. I think we'll have our normal swings, but I just don't see a major collapse right now. I know everybody's talking about the election and politics, and if Trump wins, it's anarchy. If Kamala Harris wins, it's civil war anarchy. And either way, the stock market goes to zero, and Magic cards are going to be used as like hats and T-shirts and things. And I know everybody's all wound up on all this short-term, what I call market noise. But we're about to also have a Magic release. And this Magic release is called Duskmorn. Well, Duskmorn, like I told you guys in the other video, a lot of people originally were very negative, talking about this is Crimson Vow Midnight Hunt double feature 2.0 and is going to collapse, and I'm going to be afraid, Rudy. And I've just been kind of, okay, thanks for the feedback, Captain Timmy. And now in the last few days, with more information on Duskmorn and, the cards and the market starting to really start kind of find its pricing and footing, I don't know if I'm going to call it set of the year, as some people are. I'm not sure I'm going to say it's going to be better than Bloomburrow and some of these other sets. We've had a phenomenal 2024. 2024, what have we had? Okay. Ravnica Remastered. Carlo Foreclosed Manor, but got out of foreclosure. Fallout was this year? Or was it the end of Fallout? Assassin's Creed. Outlaws, Thunder Dungeon, Back to the Future 3. Bloomburrow. Modern Horizons 3. And now Duskmorn. What an amazing year for Magic. Wow. Way better than last year's Magic 30, am I right? what a great year. But it still looks really good. And I'm going to assume the print run is going to be the same as Bloomborough. I would assume the collector boxes are going to have pretty much a similar supply. And I assume people are going to be pretty excited about it from what I can tell. I just don't see, the stock market has a bad day. Everybody's just, oh, here it comes. Here's the new set. Rudy's going to talk about the new set. So that means he has to make sure it's pumped, right? I don't know why. Yes, you are right, by the way. Every few weeks, and there's so many releases, and I try to talk about each release and see what's going on, and I try to provide feedback of what my patron army and what kind of the internet chatter feels about a product, and I try to give you all my opinion on it. Sometimes you all disagree with me. Sometimes you think I'm full of bolognas and chicken tenders and waffle fries, and other times you think, well, maybe Rudy doesn't know what he's talking about, but he gets lucky sometimes, right? Right? And it looks and feels pretty good. I feel like we're not about to drop off. I feel like in a bull market, the buy the dip is the correct strategy to go with. We don't know if we're going to have a major correction type thing coming up in either the S&P 500 or in Magic and Pokemon. Anytime in Pokemon, like, for example, Sword and Shield is flat right now because all the money's going to Scarlet Violet. Duh, we've been over this in the last few weeks. But we don't, historically, when things have a huge run-up, and right now in Scarlet Violet, Mr. P, now you've got, Twilight Masquerade, Eyes Wide Shut, and Temporal and Paradox are starting to look like they want to play around a little bit. And the same thing with Magic. Let me fulfill some bear market people's excitement. If we do have a slowdown in the stock market, GDP, 2 negative quarters, a recession, even if we have that path, I need to remind you all that collectibles historically don't correlate with the S&P 500. Now, spend rates within collectibles do have a correlation within the collectible world. So if a new Magic set comes out and Bitcoin tanks from 60,000 a coin to 30,000, that's going to impact how many people are going to want to spend their Bitcoin to buy some collector boxes of Duskmourn from me on release date in the next 2 weeks. That will have an impact. Now, if the stock market tanks 10, 15%, the Dow goes from 40,000 back to 35,000, yeah, that can make people want to spend a little less because it's making you go, whoa, how deep is this going to fall? This is making me nervous. The human psyche can definitely become, cautious, but that doesn't necessarily mean, the card world is going to roll over. I've told you all, and I'm going to kind of end this video now, which means we're halfway through. I'm going to give you all my attitude is that, remember, we just left the 2-year worst collectible Magic market in Magic the Gathering modern history. Okay? I believe the odds are in all of ours favor that we have a long runway of growth in good years in Magic coming up over the next 5 to 10 years. Now, I don't know about 10, but I'm hoping 10. But I can tell you the next, we've already had almost a year of a good Magic run in 2024. But I think next year, and probably the next couple years after that, the probability is very favorable for us. The company already experienced a downturn. Hasbro and WotC already pivoted. They've made all the adjustments and laid the framework for all of us to have a very good couple-year runway. Now, in these time periods, as we are going down this runway and running up, these are the times to be bullish because we have favorable market conditions. Now, obviously, the best time to be bullish was the last 12 months as well, because you would have been ahead of the curve because nobody else believed it. So you would have made a tremendous amount of wealth if you were flipping or buying inventory in the last 2 years, and in the last year specifically, because, you would have had your free choice of buying anything you want. Now, some of that still stands today with older Magic, modern Magic, sealed product, vintage, Magic the Gathering, reserve list cards. These items still remain, I'm not going to call it a bear market, but they remain very flat. There still is, that's why you don't see me talking about and pumping vintage and Magic right now. We're just not, there's no news to report. Now, when that does start, you bet your wiggly little self that Rudy will be here and I will be reporting buyouts and excitement and reserve list. But we don't have anything to report. There's just nothing going on, so really not much to say. But I don't think everybody is fully understanding that, these are good market conditions. Okay? Like, this is good stuff. And to remind you all, this YouTube channel is sponsored by me and you all and the viewers and patrons. And yes, I will be selling new Pokemon set, probably around the same 100, 105, or whatever the box is, shipped to your door. And no additional hidden fees. And I don't know if it's going to sell out. I don't know if it cuts off. I don't know. I don't know what you all are going to do. We're going to find out, and I'll tell you what happens. Same thing with a new One Piece set coming up here. Same thing with Magic the Gathering. We got Duskmourn, Commander, Play, and Collector coming up. And yes, stop asking me. I've said it in 2 videos already. Duskmourn Play boxes, just like Bloom Play and Thunder Junction Play, are all $116 shipped a box. Yes, it's a real price. Yes, we ship out tons of cases a day. Right now, it's mostly Bloom and Thunder Junction. A lot of people are getting like 3 boxes of each kind of thing, making their own case. But yes, that is a real price. That is an out-the-door price. Please, I don't know why. Please don't. You don't need to email me. You don't need to be a patron just to ask the question. That is a real thing. You can ask any patron. That is just. I don't know why people are making a big thing out of it. So I'm bringing it up again. It's a real price. Please stop acting like, Rudy, I heard it's $116, but if I try to place an order, you won't ship it unless I actually pay another $10 or $20 a box. What? So like a case of 6 would be a surprise $100 fee? What are you talking about? No, it's $116. So anyways, that's coming up. Just a friendly reminder, everybody. Today is Tuesday, and we are in September. PCG and myself will be having a presence at the Tampa, Florida Flesh and Blood Rosetta National World Premiere. If you are looking to get some cards graded or do anything, we will be there accepting in-person drop-offs, and you will get express grading, 1-week turnaround for the price of standard grading. Plus, you get all kinds of free crap. You get free deck boxes for like 20 cards, 30 cards. You get free sealed Flesh and Blood boxes. If you're a whale and you want to grade 40 or more cards, well, essentially talk to us. We're going to give you free slab cards off the table. You don't have to buy anything. You get free slabs, free sealed boxes, free deck boxes. And of course, if you're some whale or a store and you're going to submit an order of 100 or 200 cards, some crazy large order, yeah, you just talk to me when I'm there. Talk to me and the other team that's there. One way or the other, we make it happen, bro. You talk to us. So we've got a lot of fun things. Of course, we're going to film some crazy openings. Yes, Flesh and Blood crazy openings, some vintage openings. We even have some little, maybe some magic, some vintage magic openings planning on the side here. We got a lot of fun things coming up with the Tampa thing in the next week. So yes, if you're a patron, there's going to be some crazy things if you want to get some epically cards graded with all kinds of bonuses, express pretty much grading, 1 week, the following week your cards are heading back to you, and you get a bunch of free crap. And if you're in person, you don't even have to ship the cards and take the risk there. You can drop it off and we'll mail it back. So we do have that coming up. I'm very curious to see how Rosetta is when we actually all start cracking boxes in person and filming everything. I want to see if everyone's going to be just as excited as they were with Misty. And yes, folks, a couple interesting tidbits I'd like to tell you all. I'm going to end this video on the sorcery parts, and then I just want to kind of give a couple closing Rudy remarks. I forgot to tell you. Holy crap, shit, I cannot believe this. Customs and the air freight actually found the sorcery missing playmats from a year ago almost. They actually found them. Sorcery, Eric and Simon, the company, since I don't need an extra batch of the original Battlefield playmats, they're actually going to take them back in their warehouse and they're going to keep them for future whatever they're going to do, promotions or events. But they actually did find them. So that's really nice. And of course, we already have the promo and for the newer Arthurian Legends. And we're a couple hundred cards deep dealing with that. And yes, end of the month, we are looking and still on track for the mega launch, the reveal of the sorcery promo of the slab. And I don't even want to give you guys hints. I want to keep leading you on. So that's a lot of fun things coming up here. I am planning on some more throwback things. Probably October, November, since we're going to get through this big stuff. I'm really planning October, November. I think it's going to be good to do some throwback sales, like maybe some ETBs or Pokemon from the Sword and Shield era. I'm thinking maybe some more other older vintage maybe some older Magic stuff. Maybe pre-2020. I'm thinking maybe an Alma and Kitty Cat sale in like November or something. I'm thinking we try some older stuff again. More and more of you all have been asking me to randomly throw in some older Magic sales. So I'm thinking about throwing one in maybe every quarter. I think maybe like once every 3 months, like do a little one. Recently I did a Commander Legend sale, and people loved that. That was a nice throwback. I didn't realize how many people love that product. God, that was such a good thing. So anyways, I'm rambling. I'm sorry, everybody. But just remember, everybody, I still think we are in a bull market in the collectible world. I still think the economy and the collectible world is going to continue to be very, very favorable for collectors and investors. I think the economy is going to remain to be very split. So average working people and average working families is going to be more difficult than it's been in the past due to the higher cost of living, the higher expenses, government policy. Well, pretty much the government's just a bunch of morons. I don't care what side of the aisle, if you like either side, they're all idiots, and they're all rich, and they all have their self-interest. And I think we're going to continue to have inflation, and I think overall it's going to be very challenging for a lot of people. Now, for the people who are collectors and investors, I think the future runway here for cards is still going to be, it looks good. I think it looks very good, everybody. I think we're in for many, many good months, quarters, and even multi-years of a lot of bullishness. I mean, let's just lay it out before we end the video. Magic looks phenomenal in 2025. Print runs are under control. Serialized cards are exciting. People are liking it. The market's already accepted it. Things look good. Universes Beyond, Final Fantasy, this Marvel stuff, these new rumors of these new 1-of-1 serialized cards, 1 of 10. It's going to be outrageous. I'm telling you, it's going to be outrageous. Looking at Pokemon, I'm hearing insane rumors about new Pokemon sets next year, including the Team Rocket sets and some of these other ones. I mean, until I see pictures and proof, I know there's been chatter and events about it, but I want to see actual pictures. But there's some huge Pokemon Scarlet Violet stuff coming up in 2025 that I think is going to really, and I've told you all this already, I think Scarlet Violet in 2023, last year, when nobody wanted it, and even now, Twilight Masquerade, nobody wanted it, is some of the biggest opportunity for wealth creation, a price appreciation, and future repricing I've seen in many, many years of my cardboard career. I think it's going to look really good. So Magic looks good. Vintage Magic still looks like shit. Pokemon looks great. Flesh and Blood has a real good, strong momentum movement coming up from heavy hitters into Misty, now into Rosetta. We'll see how this goes, because if this is a home run like I think it's going to be, that's 3 strong sets in a row with Flesh and Blood. And yes, remember that print run release they did, where print runs are not going up anymore, and actually they've been declining. Everything looks really good moving forward. And of course, Sorcery with this whole thing is, people just love Sorcery. I don't need to tell you guys. If you know what it is, you know what it is. It looks absolutely just, it's been doing incredibly well. With the new Weiss announcements on Weiss Schwartz, with these new configurations and website updates and everything, to me it feels like Weiss is laying the framework for the next decade and generation, for the next 10 years for these new sets, new price points, and kind of restabilizing the Weiss market for collectors, investors, and players. I think Weiss is actually looking better now than it has in many years. And I still think, Disney Lorcana is a pile of shit. And if you like playing the game, you like Disney, it's beautiful. If you're trying to collect or invest, I just think you're a Timmy. I remain my opinion on it. As of right now, I told you already, the exclusivity clauses of Lorcana have expired, and now Disney Lorcana booster boxes are going to be carried all over the place, including all distributors and everywhere. I've been solicited multiple times. I've pretty much left every distributor hanging because I'm probably just not going to do it. Even if I could sell Disney Lorcana boxes for $90, $95 shipped or whatever, I'm just not. I just don't believe in what Ravensburg is doing. I don't believe that they possess long-term management that can make decisions for long-term success. I think these people are making decisions on short-term bonuses and quarterly metrics and monthly bonuses, and I think they're all a bunch of dumb fucks who don't give a shit about the brand, the card game, or you all's money and buying these cards long-term. And for that reason, I'm not touching Lorcana. I'm sorry if that makes you angry. Star Wars Unlimited is a little different. They are very blunt about their printing it, and people just love Star Wars, and people are saying that Rudy, you actually need to play it. Unlike previous Star Wars and Star Trek and different things from the 90s, this version of Star Wars, the actual CCG, is actually kind of fun. So that one I'm actually not really negative on. I've been very cautious to you all about the reprinting and the price swings. but I'm not as negative as I am. Lorcana is just, Ravensburg, just a bunch of, I'm telling you, dude. Ravensburg, I'm telling you all. Ravensburg is 16-year-old Rudy working at Chick-fil-A just to flirt with the other girls that are there and simply eat a free waffle fry. Past that, there is nothing else in those people's mind, and management does not think past the chicks and the waffle fries, and they have no attitude, and they don't give two fucks about anything in the long term. I'm warning you all on that. I think it's about it. Thanks for watching. Conclusion of the video. You need to be, I hope you are continuing to accumulate the S&P 500, and you're definitely buying the dips in the S&P. I don't care what it is. We are in for a long runway of success and growth. Same thing with sealed product and Magic and Pokemon and all these things. Things look really good. And yes, most people missed out in the last 12 months because they remained negative and bearish and stupid. And yes, the easy money's been made, but there's still tremendous opportunity in this new era and cycle of CCGs, and I really like the direction everything is. And you know, let me say this before I end the video, like I've said 10 times already. Sometimes I always think it's necessary for us to have that really nasty, just fucking ripping through bear market collapse. And sometimes, like I said on Wall Street, it's necessary to have these flush outs because we get rid of the people who are leveraged. We get rid of the people who are trying to act like they're superpowers and I'm going to buy everything out, I'm going to do this. You flush out and you get rid of the people who don't have any business and don't believe and don't have a passion for Lego, for Magic, for Pokemon. In other words, when Scarlet Violet is bad for 2 years before it finally starts taking off, it makes the weak-minded and the weak-handed people, it makes them leave before the money and success comes. And many times those individuals don't deserve to be successful. And maybe they don't have a good mindset. And I have a strange perspective on this stuff where I almost think it's important for us to have bad times and bad markets. Because like I told you all, if someone hands you $1 million and you're like, woo, party, chicks, you know, versus if you build something from nothing, what your brain, how that wiring is going to be connected because what you've been through of young Rudy not having shit and being a brokey and being frustrated and ex-girlfriend saying I'm not good enough and all these things from young high school's Rudy's, these things that happen, you know, they changed how I was wired that allowed me to be this way today. And I hope this is better. Sometimes I think I'm a little, what do you guys call me? A hoarder? Probably I am a hoarder. But you know, I wonder that. And it's the same thing with stocks. We need those flush outs to rip the people on margin, get them out of the fucking market. Bitcoin needs to drop 10,000 a coin. So all the dumbasses that are leveraged 10 to 1, they get margin called, they go to zero, they get the fuck out. Sometimes I think we need that, man. And with Magic, that 2-year flush out, the more I think about it, and I'm going to be talking about this for years, you know, we went through when I've been on YouTube since 2016 making videos, all the way through to 2020, everything just went up. Well, mostly. Iconic Masters and Ixalan, Amun, some things were weak. And then when we hit the COVID crazy era where everyone just became completely idiots, and everything everything goes to the moon, including me. I became an idiot squared. And then we needed a 2-year just board wipe. Like, I feel like we went through a 2-year fucking board wipe of Magic and Pokemon with this stuff, you know? And a lot of those people probably just didn't help us, you know? Some of these, Channel Snowball in Flesh and Blood, they didn't help the game. You know, some of these people who, I'm just going to buy all this stuff and just immediately flip it the next day, really doesn't, they're not investing for 10 years. They're not opening the product and selling single cards. You know, I don't think a lot of that, I don't know, you know, maybe it may have been a blessing in disguise. But I do know it built a strong foundation for 2024. And I started talking about this November of last year. Because of what we went through, we built this super foundation where we flushed the market. The people who didn't belong here left. And the ultimate thing, the publishers And the companies who print the cards were forced to cut all the print runs, change management, and Cynthia Philip Morris Williams had to go back to selling cigarettes. I'm sorry, Funko Pops? Still Funko Pops now? No. Wendy's? Wachovia? No. Where's Cynthia Williams work? Blockbuster? Redbox? Enron? Lehman Brothers? Wachovia? I don't know, where the fuck? Countrywide? Financial? Washington Mutual? I think Cynthia's at WAMU. Thanks for listening. Have a beautiful day. As always, enjoy Rudy's penis.